This is the season of the Celebrity Golf Tournament. Today at Pine Hills in Plymouth, two charities from a gathering of some of the biggest names in Boston sports. The Ace Bailey Children's Foundation was one of the charities to benefit from today's tournament. YBA's Ben Weiner had a chance to meet and great former Patriots Teddy Bruschi and the legendary Bobby Orr. However, the second beneficiary is BC football player Mark Herzlich. He is a cancer survivor, and he talked with Ben Weiner on location.
Hello everyone, Ben Weiner here with Mark Herzlich, Boston College player who suffered from cancer. Mark, what does an event like this mean to you?
Well, it's really great. It's something that I've become more inclined to do charity work and different stuff like that, and to have something not only in my name but also to raise money for the exact disease that I have really is great. And to see people come, Jamie Parker set all this up through Nesson, and just the support that I've gotten, it really kind of shows today.
Now, are you excited to play this upcoming season?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a great year. I think that playing with guys like Luke Kuechly, a linebacker, and just really get back on the field with the team again is going to be awesome.
How have your teammates helped you along the way?
Well, it's things like this. They started the chapter of uplifting athletes at Boston College. They've been there. They've been my friends throughout the whole process, and you can't really ask much more than that. Just to be your friend, to be by your side, and have your back.
So what do you plan to do with uplifting athletes? What's the goal?
Well, the goal really is to not only raise money for our cause, which is Ewing sarcoma, but also to raise awareness. It's a very rare disease. Only about 600 or 700 people get it a year in the whole world, and so with a disease that rare, it's hard to raise monies actually for that cause. So that's what our goal is. Now,
do you plan on golfing today?
Yeah, I'll be golfing. I don't know how well I'll play, but I'll still be out there.
Do you know what your handicap is?
Yeah, I'm a 21.6 handicap, meaning that I get strokes on every single hole and two on some holes. So still kind of a newbie at golf, but I like it.
All right. Well, thank you for giving me your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I think we have Tom Cran on the phone. Tom, are you there now?
I certainly am.
Okay, it's good to have you. So,
good to be had.
All right. Alex, do you have a question for Tom?
Yes, I do. I was just wondering about you're at the Patriots season ticket holder practice right now. I was wondering, what do you think of the linebacker depth of the Patriots this season, coming into this next season?
Well, I think, Alex, you have to look at it in two different realms. The inside linebacker depth is tremendous. I mean, you have Gerard Mayo, who will probably play at a high level this year after being limited last year. You have Gary Guyton, who played at a pretty good level. And then you've added Brandon Spikes through the draft, and Tyrone McKenzie is back after missing last year with a torn ACL, and he was a third-round pick. I think that McKenzie's an excellent player, really tremendous and explosive, and I think people are really going to like the way he plays. The outside linebacker position is a whole different situation, because out there you have Tully Bandekane, who was re-signed in the offseason, and he's doing a nice job, and he's a good player. But on the other side, the team was counting on Derek Burgess, who still hasn't shown up, and behind him, you really have Rob Ninkovich, who's kind of an unproven player still as anything more than a role player. Rookie Jermaine Cunningham, Marcus Newell, who's kind of a cast-off from the Jets, and it's very much up in the air for a team that needs to somehow bolster its pass rush with that outside pressure. So two different situations at play in the linebacker core.
So, Tom, what do you think the Patriots are going to have to do in order to improve their pass rush to a point that they can contend in the playoffs this year?
Well, I think that outside linebacker spot was going to be one that you really had to look at as being better, and I'm not sure if we're seeing it right now. Also up front, you're going to have to create more pressure up front. They're not as aggressive in their scheme. They really haven't been throughout Bill Belichick's tenure. The 3-4 scheme is not one that's really aggressive, exotic, with guys coming from a lot of positions. Now, they will ratchet it up and send other players in passing situations, but on down to down, you're really looking to get pressure through normal beat-your-man one-on-one. If they can't get pressure, these young corners and secondary players they have who are promising, are going to be forced to cover for too long. And we saw that last year. When guys are forced to cover for too long, there's not enough pressure generated up front. Guys can't do it. The wide receivers are too good. The quarterbacks are too accurate. And no matter how talented the receiver is, I don't care if it's Darrell Revis, the corner is, I don't care if it's Darrell Revis or Nandi Asamoah or Ty Law, you can't cover for up to 4.5, 5 seconds. It's impossible.
Alex?
Yeah, I have another one. What do you think of Derek Burgess retiring, or mostly contemplating it, definitely, probably most likely retiring? Do you think that hurts or helps the Patriots?
Well, Derek didn't really light it up last year, and I know that Bill Belichick spoke highly of his ability and the things that he did do, both in the pass rush and against the run, and in what's called setting the edge, which is basically you come upfield and you make sure that nobody gets outside you and you funnel back into the defense. So Belichick was high on how Burgess played last year. But when you look at the numbers and how this defense performed, I don't think anybody gets a huge check plus for their work, and that would include Derek Burgess. So while it's damaging because of the depth, I think that it only complicates matters, but it's not as if you're losing, DeMarcus Ware out there. You're losing a guy who's on the back nine of his career who they were counting on, and you're having to force some other younger players in. But it's not, again, as if they're losing an unbelievable talent at pass rush / run stop.
Tom, you brought up a good subject there. I think we didn't see a lot of huge players on defense for the Patriots in terms of stats last year. Do you think that we will see anyone huge for the Patriots in terms of stats on the defensive end this year?
Well, I mean, Tully had a very good year in terms of sacks. He ended up with 9.5. But again, it's going to depend upon the defense as a whole. It's never really been a team that's going to put up a ton of statistics. You're not going to have a lot of picks. You might have them spread around the defense. The goal of the Patriots defense is not going to be like the New York Jets scheme where it's going to roll up huge sack numbers, low point totals. They're always going to let teams move the ball from 20 to 20 and then hopefully buckle down inside there. They don't want to get beaten deep. They want to make it a long process to go down the field. So statistically, I don't think you're going to see a wide range of difference. But, the points, the key stats for the Patriots defensively are red zone stats and third down stats. And last year, those were poor for this team. And as we're, passing yardage, and that, again, doesn't go strictly on the secondary. It goes on the defense as a whole.
Alex?
Well, also something that's caused a little bit of a drama is Brady and his hair. Do you think that will actually have an effect later on this season? We saw Brady struggling last year with actually finding the passer. Do you think this could ever come into play? Because I have the same style hair, and it bothers me a lot. It gets in my eyes a lot. Do you think that actually could come in effect with Brady?
You're on the level with that?
What?
Are you serious with that?
No, I'm just kidding around. But
You got to tip me off somehow.
Yeah,
No, I think the hair is going to be a non-issue.
But also Randy Moss and his we had been talking about that yesterday. But Randy Moss and his age has to come into effect at some point or another. Do you think Randy Moss's age will you start to see him slowing down than his usual Speedy Gonzalez style? Do you think he could start slowing down?
I think he's still moving very well, for his age. I think he's still one of the most explosive receivers in the league. The bigger distraction with Randy Moss is that he's entering the final year of his contract. And he's looking for his next payday. I mean, he's rehabbed his image here. He's shown that he still is an explosive player and can still put up numbers, which people didn't think he could do when he was leaving Oakland. So Randy Moss is now concerned very much. A portion of him is concerned with what happens next. So between getting touches and preserving his body, I think that there will be potential for Randy Moss to be concerned about things that really are not relevant to the 2010 Patriots, and I think that's a concern more than his aging. Do
you think there's a chance with this being his last year on the contract that he could end up leaving the Patriots, because the Patriots wouldn't be able to offer him as much of his money because, yes, he's a major part in the Patriots, but such other many desperate teams that are looking for big-time receivers and are willing to spend a lot of money that haven't used a lot of their money in other positions. Do you think we could see Randy Moss leaving the Patriots after this season?
Absolutely. I think it will probably be a better than 50-50 likelihood that he'll be playing someplace else the next time football is played if there is no lockout in 2011.
All right, Tom. Another receiver that we've heard about, mostly from Tom Brady over the offseason, Brandon Tate, a recent pickup last year who unfortunately spent most of it on the bench due to injury. What did he look like during the practice today?
He's been excellent. He really has. He's explosive. He has tremendous hands. He's very athletic. He's looked tremendous. I can't say enough good things about him. And also Taylor Price, who was a second-round pick this year out of Miami of Ohio. He looks tremendous as well. So I think that, this team finished 2009 with a real dearth of receivers. But, Brandon Tate right now, they're lining up on the field in front of me. Brady's on the center, and Tate is flanked out to the left. Moss is on the right. Julian Edelman is in the slot. Aaron Hernandez is standing up and about to run a route, underneath, and ball goes to Hernandez. But, Tate is in the mix as that flanker on the opposite side where Dante Stallworth and Jabbar Gaffney used to operate.
Now, you mentioned Julian Edelman, but Wes Welker is making an extremely fast recovery. Do you think we could see Wes Welker end up playing starting in the beginning of the season, the first game? You could definitely, I believe that you could definitely see him in the preseason as rehab.
I think it's a likelihood that he'll be ready for the first game unless he has any kind of radical setback. Right now, I think that, he's trending towards probably being available for the third or fourth preseason game, but I think that it's a likelihood that he'll be involved with this team from the beginning of the season.
All right, Tom, one last question. With all this depth in terms of receivers, do you think Tom Brady will have a more explosive season this year than he did last year?
Well, there are so many different things. I think that they would probably prefer to see more players involved, both in the passing game and in the running game. It got very tunnel vision with that vision directed towards Wes Welker and to a lesser extent Randy Moss, but those two players saw far too high a percentage of balls going their way. Brady threw for 4,200 yards, threw for 28 touchdowns. That's a really good year. It equals his second highest in both touchdowns and yards. So what we'll see statistically from him, I'm not sure, but I think that this offense has to become more diverse. If his numbers go down, it probably means good things in terms of the running game.
All right, thanks, Tom. We appreciate it. All right, for Alex Friedgood, I'm Jesse Mayfield Chin. That's going to do it for Back Talk today. Thanks for watching.